You're listening to Nerd Sweat.
Care Bear Stare!
Care Bears countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky?
Hello, I am your host, Chris, and to my left is the Green Giant, Brian. Say hello.
Hi.
And parallel to Brian is the man who uses his plasma rifle with a 40-watt range, Michael.
Hi, everybody.
Phased plasma rifle in a 40-watt range.
But last and not least, the young buck with all the dangles in NHL 14, and the one man who always knows what The Rock is cooking, Andy.
And you smell The Rock is
Hello, everyone. We're back. It's been a while. You know, Christmas is gone and past, and we've got new goodies. We've got new clothes. What else? Am I missing anything else?
Video
Anyone?
games.
just goodies and clothes, man. Just goodies and
Goodies,
clothes.
yeah. I know you like your goodies, Andy.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Olympics are on. That's new.
Yes, that's really important. Hockey.
Yeah, hockey.
Mm.
Get up at 7 in the morning to watch some Russians and Americans play hockey.
And Lou.
We so did.
Yeah, beer for breakfast. That's
Andy and I did it on
Breakfast of
Sunday.
Champions.
yeah.
That's what Andy and I had last week.
Two eggs, throw some beer in, and fry it up.
Sounds like epic mealtime now.
So yeah, welcome back, everyone. We had a good amount of entries for our contest, and we'll be picking it later in the show. I've got everyone's name in a box that Mike has seen with a bunch of styrofoam junk in it. So
Xbox?
everything's totally random. No, it's not out of an Xbox. I'm not going to press the eject button and then a magical name comes out. Nothing like that.
Destroyed Xbox.
We got a pretty cool show this week. We're all pretty excited about. We're all just excited to get back on the wagon again and pumping out another show. And Brian was mentioning earlier that we really have to be more regular. Besides bowel movements, we're hoping.
Got to keep it regular.
I'm pretty good with my bowel movement.
I'm a huge Fiber One fan.
Oh, God.
Like,
I don't want to get into that.
It's all about the Metamucil.
Isn't that what
Oh.
we started talking about before the last podcast?
what Fiber One? Oh yeah.
This whole
No,
topic.
no. That was that. We can't talk about that because that's like
That's
that
off-air
was
stuff.
that was about your D inside the S. No, hold on. Anyways.
It's D and the B.
Yeah.
Say what?
We're going to go...
Retro Game Review of the Week.
In this week's Retro Game Review, we're doing the progression of Mario Kart. From the Super Nintendo Entertainment System through to the GameCube. So we're looking at the three titles, the one on the N64 as well. Our personal feelings of it. Gameplay, where it got better, where it got worse. We're not touching the Wii U version or the Wii U, at all. We're just sticking to these three because these are ones that we played, and we're not all sort of on the same page with the games. Like, we have a different order which one we like better than the other, but we sure have a lot to talk about with them, don't we?
That's right.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah, we do.
We do. And we're going to kick things off with the Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. And this game came out in 1992. It was a very important time for me just to get into racing games. At that point, I think the only racing game I played prior to that was F1 pole racing on the Game Boy, the original Game Boy. The big brick. I don't know if you guys played any racing games before this.
I did. That's funny. I can't think of what it was called. It was a motorcycle game on the Sega Master System. Was the only one I ever played before this.
Oh,
I gotta look that up.
Was it Moto GT on the Nintendo?
I'd have to see.
Excite-Bike.
I'd have to see a screenshot to be able to tell you because I was way too young. My dad had it when I was like 2, 3, and then it broke.
Oh, nice.
15, 16, you know.
I played Top Gear Overdrive, but I'm pretty sure that came out after Mario Kart. That was also on the Super Nintendo. It was another fun racing game.
I was 2 years old when this game came out, so I probably did not play this game when it was released.
And you are a baby.
Well, you're aging yourself, man.
So I have no idea when I actually first played this game.
You know, you're a lot like fine wine.
As I get older, I get better? Or
Yeah,
what?
you do. So is your smell.
Oh,
I showered before I came over, like you said.
I know, I'm just playing.
I know.
So, Andy, did you play any racing games before this, or was this the one sort of like that started the domino effect for you?
I definitely played a couple of them, but I mean, memorable? No, not really. This game gave a lot like competitive edge to I don't know, to like a lot of my friends. Like you could play up to 4 players, and you know you actually had some competitiveness with it with the items and stuff. Anything before that was very track related. Don't go outside the bounds, smoke into a tree or something. But I don't know. I always felt the controls to be pretty terrible on a lot of other ones. Where this one, Mario Kart, man, that's the jam right there.
That is his jam. We should talk a bit about the details of the game. The game itself had 8 playable characters. You had Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Donkey Kong, or as some people know as Donkey Kang, and,
Dinky King.
Koopa Troopa, Yoshi, Toad, and Bowser. And each had their own like special uniqueness to them.
No,
Yoshi.
it was just Yoshi was the best. And
Well,
the
Yeah,
others all
Yoshi was
sucked.
the best.
Yeah, Yoshi
Like,
actually was one of the quickest, but
You're the best.
man, Donkey Kong and Bowser, their acceleration sucked, but man, their long-term drive,
Top speed.
yeah, they would just bump everything out of their way. They're all top end, all heavy, front heavy.
You know, one thing that I think leading up to this I didn't think about bringing up is because I loved the game. It was one of my favorites, right? My first racing game that I was old enough to really understand, right? The old one, turns out it was called Hang On for the Sega Master System. But
Yeah, don't know what that is.
no, it was probably garbage. I like I say, I was like 2, 3 years old, so I don't really remember. But yeah, with the one issue that I had with Mario Kart and still had because I ended up getting it a few years ago. I found it online. Big issue is when you do the single player, because I'm an only child, that's mostly what I did, was it was always one set order, right? If I picked Yoshi to do the 100cc or the 150cc or whatever, I knew Koopa Troopa was going to win every time. He would be the guy
fast, though, too.
Yeah, but no, the thing was it was pre-programmed that every race, and I think they still do that. Like I got Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS.
Ugh.
And it's like, if you do GP, no matter what, almost every time, the same guy is going to come in second place. If you get first, that guy's going to get second. Just to keep it competitive in that, if you're always winning in that. But I always found the difficulty level, like if you got 4th place or something, you know, you were going to be out of it because that guy was always going to get second. It's going to happen every time.
I always found that Peach was always in the top 3.
Yeah,
like
always.
no matter what.
Yeah.
She just
But is that because you were
seemed to like.
picking
No,
the same
honestly.
character, or is that in general?
I would always pick like Yoshi or Koopa Troopa, and Andy's totally right. Every time Peach would just,
It's
and
true.
she was annoying.
No, I remember it too. It was the same for me. It was Peach. It was Koopa Troopa, Peach, and then Luigi, Mario would be in the back. You know, you'd have Donkey Kong
Coming up the rear,
somehow.
Bowser and Donkey Kong.
No, not every time. Bowser and Donkey Kong, one or the other would be in the top 4 at least.
Yeah, but they were only in the top, the 100 cc's.
Yeah. Oh, it was different for each class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also need to mention that too. So in the first Mario Kart, when they first started, well, actually they all have this, but you had the 50 cc's, the 100 cc's, and the 150, and then you had like a 4th, like the special cup. And as you
Who ever
progress,
picked anything other than 150 though?
Okay, if I'm being honest, when I was a kid and played any Mario Kart, I thought like the 50cc was one set of tracks, and then 100 was another set of tracks. So I thought like 50 was the easiest track, so I'd always play 50. And then now I realize that they're just making you go faster.
difficulty, yeah.
That's great.
The cup, the special cup was unlocked just when you beat the 50cc, though, right? When you beat any level of difficulty with I think you unlock special cup once you beat the star cup.
No, by winning all 3 cups at the 100cc level,
then you unlock
then the
special?
4th cup, the special cup, is unlocked.
Yeah,
And
but it
only
wasn't like
winning.
it was another CC level or anything. It was
No.
just another set of tracks.
Yeah, only winning
With that-
all 4 cups
With
at
the
100cc.
legit Rainbow Road. Man, that level was awesome.
Yeah, the
No
Rainbow
walls.
Road was...
No walls.
Why, the new ones have walls?
No, like the Rainbow Road never had walls. Like
But
just...
now it does, though?
No, none
Oh,
of them
okay.
do.
No. It was such a solid track and so difficult because
'Cause
you
could
bump into somebody and you
could
fly
bump
off.
people,
Mm,
and you
yeah.
could bump them
They
off.
fly off, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so fun.
That's what separated the boys from the men, though, was Rainbow Road.
Besides the artists.
And the blue tracks, right? All those ghost tracks are pretty hard.
That reminds me of a story. I don't want to go off too much here, but I remember one time, grade 10, we were in the boys' locker room at gym, and
Oh, this is gonna get good.
I like it.
We're in there, and Mike's older brother Scott was in there, and Mac and the usual group. And I remember just walking in. I said, "Scott," I said, "What?" And I looked at all the guys. I said, "I found your Boys to Men CD on the floor, man." Everyone just starts laughing at him, and then he's like, "Okay, where is it?" I'm like, "You actually have it?" Best answer ever. Doesn't deny it.
We'll give
Doesn't
it
say
back.
anything. Just where is it?
Give him some props, dude. He knew R&B.
I still listen to Boys to Men.
Ugh, takes a lot of men.
I have to say though,
Boys too.
the N64 version of Mario Kart, I think is definitely the best one. Yeah, I think primarily why is because you had perfect controls with the N64 controller. I think the Super Nintendo just using the D-pad was too blocky. Like I don't think that you could turn as well. I feel like you have to keep tapping left and right. But the joystick, it was like variable. You could go as far as you wanted with it. And then the GameCube, unfortunately, I think is one of the worst controllers ever to be made. So I always screwed up where the buttons were, so I could never really fire anything. I just end up jumping or putting the brakes on.
Remember the original Xbox controllers when they brought those out? Those
The big fat ones.
Oh,
gigantic-
those were beefy.
Yeah, that was
They
not for
fit, they
children.
fit my hands perfectly at that age.
Yeah.
Oh god. I see. I have to disagree. I find that the controller for
Yeah,
the
you're fired.
GameCube was amazing.
I like the
that
GameCube
controller
controller, too.
molded your hand
You
perfectly.
serious?
Yeah,
Oh, it was
I
a
liked
great
it as
fit.
well.
It
I'm
was
not gonna
great.
lie.
Like that stupid boomerang? No.
I love
thanks.
the R buttons.
Yeah.
I love the feel of the R buttons. I didn't like the C. I didn't like the C
No,
joystick.
I didn't-
You liked the feel. Do you remember the sound of the trigger buttons? Man, that
I
clang
almost
it made
wanna
when you
grab
let
the
it go.
GameCube controller and just
Yeah.
make this sound right now.
That's
I don't
like
know.
the most mechanical friggin' trigger ever.
I wanted to like the GameCube a lot more than I actually liked it, just because the controller was so comfortable in my hand.
I literally bought that
a
and
bunch of
brought it
voodoo.
back the same day.
Guys, quiet.
I hope that was the GameCube controller.
It sure was.
Nice.
Just flicking the bean over there.
Yeah. So yeah, Andy was talking about the Mario Kart 64, and that game came out in 1996, and that was a crazy year for Nintendo 64 gaming. Besides that, but yeah, it came out in 1996. The game had a lot more playable characters. It had Mario, Luigi, Princess Toad, Yoshi, Bowser, Wario, Donkey Kong, Koopa Troopa, and Donkey Kong Jr.
I don't remember him.
Oh, was he an unlock?
No, I think that was for Double Dash was Junior.
I don't
Was
remember
it?
there being a lot more characters. in
No,
that
I don't.
game.
Yeah, I think.
Sure, there's
Wario-
still 8. Wario was in it
No,
though. For sure.
they added some, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I know Waluigi wasn't around yet because he wasn't introduced until Mario Tennis.
That's right.
I remember having a discussion with my buddy Josh at recess in grade 7 or 8 about how ridiculous and exciting it was. We were both saying how stupid it was that there's a Waluigi now, but we were both secretly extremely excited.
So this was the first 3D racing game for Mario Kart.
Remember how much that blew your mind?
It's just the idea of watching the shells go around my character and be able to launch them at the people in front of me.
It blew my mind. Just seeing that game. That was the first N64 game that I got to sit down and play. It was my buddy Greg had it when we were kids, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
More so than I think any game has blown my mind before. Like that, when I got to sit down and get my hands on this one, it probably got me the most excited about a next gen coming out.
Was the level, like for me when I was playing it, which pretty much had me, hook, line, and sunk right in, was the level with the train. Just the idea of driving and then not trying to hit the train or bump someone in the train passing by on the
Or
railroad.
get stuck behind the train just like you would in traffic.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. Like, this game is the best game ever.
It was, for me, it was that battle mode where you had all the different levels, the different tiers.
Oh,
in that
a block
square
fort.
shape. Yeah, it was so fun to play with friends. It was tag. It was playing tag. Really felt like a cool game of tag, and in a 3D environment that could potentially exist to a 10-year-old, right? Like, it's something that you dream up. Like, that would be so cool to actually do that. And once it's in 3D, now we've gone into the realm that, wait, that is possible, right?
That'd be pretty sweet.
I think the greatest thing we've not mentioned yet is the versus mode.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Multiplayer versus mode. Like,
I totally zoned out then.
Go home. Go home.
I don't remember a train. Like, where
No,
was
that
the
was
train?
just the
No,
racing.
that was single
like
player.
the GT, like the actual racing mode.
I
There
don't
was a
remember.
level that for the 50cc.
Yeah.
And the last level when you're playing against each other is
It was the Mushroom Cup, the last level of Mushroom Cup.
That's right, the Mushroom Cup. Because there's a Mushroom Cup, a Flower Cup, Star Cup, and that's right.
Okay, I must have just zoned right out. I was looking it
So,
up right there.
Just to clarify, the Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo didn't actually have Donkey Kong in it. It was Donkey Kong Jr. that was in that game.
That's
And-
funny. He had
and
a junior on his
Koopa-
shirt.
Yeah, and Koopa Troopa was in it. And then in the original, and then the 64 version that came out replaced Koopa Troopa
With
and Donkey
Paratroopa?
Kong. No, with Donkey Kong and Wario. So Koopa Troopa out, Wario in, Donkey Kong Jr. out with Donkey Kong in for the,
I don't know,
for the
man.
64.
Junior
So
won
it
by heart.
remained 8 characters for both games.
Okay, so it's Double Dash that had all the bonuses.
Yeah, Double Dash had 20.
Man,
That's a
that's
lot.
Nintendo again. Like we had a conversation this week on Facebook, the 4 of us, about like we already talked about it. I think it was episode 1 of the podcast. The new Smash Brothers coming out with all those damn characters. I feel like it's just what Nintendo's decided to do in the last 10 years. Just
Did you ever
everybody
look up
wants more characters, right?
Did you look up the confirmed characters? There's not that many right now. Like they had both of the and like the Wii version, for example, they had both characters from the Fire Emblem series, but in the Wii U version, they took one out. There's actually a lot less characters. They took out the evil guy from the Link series, Gandorf. He's not in anymore.
Oh, he was terrible.
Well, I
It was
think
awful.
I
Yeah,
think
but
if
he
you
has
look
so
at-
much potential.
If you look at like what the characters they have now, because in the Wii version, a lot of characters mimicked other characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or they're like slightly faster or slower, or their attack took slightly longer or something. And
Yeah,
this
but-
one, it looked like they took out it looks like almost all the duplicates are gone and every character is unique. Which
That's
is,
good, though.
yeah.
Unique but pointless. Like the Wii U trainer and this boxer from Punch-Out, like that's nonsense.
And they
Nobody
want to-
wants to be those characters.
No,
I don't know, I could see Punch-Out was a hugely popular game.
Yeah,
and-
but they want to take the characters, not all of them, like, because what they're doing, and it's stupid. We talked about this before, too. Certain characters are going to be available, but not with the actual, when you buy the game physically or download it,
Oh, yeah.
they won't be unlocked. You have to pay money to unlock them.
But that's with every fighting game. There's always DLC characters, no matter what game you get.
It was with every fighting game, but not with Smash Bros. This is where Nintendo is now clearly saying, oh, yeah, we can conform with what EA wants to do.
You should almost create the finished product and then add more to it later for free. Make it a gift, like I'm buying this piece of software, and them doing this is just making me continue to play it.
Yeah, but it's a business, right?
we-
I was talking to Andy about this week. Is Borderlands 2 is one of my favorite games right now. I absolutely love it. And they released, I think, 4 and maybe one more coming up. They're called, I think they're called Headhunter DLCs. They're smaller campaigns, not full DLCs, and they only charge $3 for them, right? I'm perfectly willing to pay $3 for a fully fleshed small campaign in my video game. I'm not, however, going to be getting the $20 slightly bigger campaign for, let's say, Skyrim. Like, I haven't been able to convince myself to buy that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've never talked myself into that. I've come close, but never talked myself into it. Even when they were on sale, I couldn't do it.
So I think we still have one more Mario Kart to talk about.
Yes.
For the
I wanted to
GameCube?
touch one thing, though.
That's right.
Andy, do you remember playing Mario Kart 64 with me?
Oh, absolutely.
And would you say I'm a cheap player when I play Mario Kart in battle mode?
Live? No.
Am I the type of player that would get like green shells and hit you once and then creep up beside you and hit you with another one?
Yeah.
Combat's combat, man. Anything goes.
Yeah, also fair.
And then you wait till you turn into a bomb and then you activate your star and then you eat the bomb up? Am I that player?
I don't know how many times you've done that to me, and then I was really awful at that game, so he just murked me, and then, I got a star, mine's gone!
You're easy.
Or
you're
I'll be-
easy prey,
Or
Mike.
be going head on with Chris, like, he's coming right for me, I got him, I'm the bomb, and just, it's 2 seconds before I hit him, stars.
That was that's the
Good
way
times.
that's the way game
Man,
chasing goes.
that just sounded fun. Just describing it, that sounded fun.
It was for Chris.
Did they take the bomb out of the game in 64?
In the double dash version, it didn't have the bomb, and so we'll just go into that now. Double dash came out in 2003 in the GameCube. And it had all the previous same things, like the Grand Prix, the time trial versus battle, except the extra thing that it did have was the LAN play. You could actually buy the LAN adapter and play online and have up to 16 people.
That's cool. Wow.
That's going in the recording.
It's pretty cool, man. But like you guys were saying earlier, there's a lot more characters.
Well, yeah, because they
Insane.
introduced 2 players per cart, right? So
Yeah.
effectively, you want to have twice as many characters,
It's true, because
just for selection purposes, right?
and you're totally right. And the main thing, what I really loved about this game is that you could have 4 players and have 2 people on one cart throwing like shells and stuff and switching. There was a lot of strategy to it.
Don't you start laughing right now.
What?
I remember that game too took like a lot more teamwork in order, like, if the person on your team, if he was on the back cart, I found it was like very team oriented. You needed to like coordinate with each other to get things done.
Well, there's some people who are just terrible at driving. Like, just brutal. Because, like, there's some levels, too, where there's, like, a huge rock or a valley, and then, like, you've got a small piece of terrain to drive around. And there's some people that just can't drive around that terrain. They just go right off the edge. And then you get pissed off at each other, and you just quit.
Yeah.
But, the characters in this game, so, again, there's Donkey Kong. There was Diddy Kong. There was Bowser Jr., Yoshi, Birdo, Peach, Daisy, Wario, Waluigi. Was there Shy Guy? I'm pretty sure there was Shy Guy, right?
Think so.
There was Toad. There was
King
Toadette.
Boo.
Oh my God, Mike! You're disgusting. Mike smells like rotten eggs. Like, literally, like, just like right off the pot and freshly made, and you're not even in the fridge yet.
Tastes like green onions and ham though.
Oh my
I remember
goodness.
seeing. I think it might have been in my last copy of Nintendo Power I had, because I had the subscription for I think 2 years. I had it, and I think it was the last one I ever had was the article on the upcoming Double Dash, and it looked so good. I was so excited to play it. For me, I left Nintendo. I had an N64. I didn't get a GameCube until way later. I went over to Xbox and strictly played Xbox for pretty much all of high school, and went to Xbox 360 in university. So I didn't get a chance to play Double Dash until I was older, and for me, it just didn't hold up. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed, I guess because it wasn't part of that nostalgia.
It's still fun,
thing.
though.
It's fun.
It's
but
better than the
any
newer
day,
ones.
I don't know about that, because I think I'd have more fun, at least with the motion controls and sucking at playing a Wii, than I would with playing that, because there's no nostalgia whatsoever for me. I'd much rather play the 64 or the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm the same,
I
too.
feel like while I play the GameCube game, I want to put it away and take out the ones that I enjoy.
Yeah, same.
Like I thought after the 64 versions, they were never the same. They just weren't the same games. I find that it kind of reached a plateau and it went kind of downwards.
Yeah.
Well, the thing too is like, when we were growing up, those were like at the peak, right? Like we were at the perfect age, and I don't know about you, but I didn't own a GameCube like in its heyday. So I don't know, Double Dash just wasn't one of those prime games that you had to have.
There wasn't many games on the GameCube to make it worth buying.
Well, you know what? I find the biggest thing with any Mario or Nintendo game, it's like back in the day that was amazing and it was like the pinnacle of gaming. But now gaming's evolved. But it's like Sonic. How do you evolve Sonic to match like today's next gen games?
They tried so many times.
No,
it's just
really
no
hard
good.
Because like let's face it, they're basic platformer games. You jump, you hit the thing, a coin comes down, and you get bigger. But but obviously Nintendo's done it. But it's really hard to keep up, like because in the basis of of all those games, they're all the same game. You race, you try and kill each other, you win the race.
Yep.
Yeah.
But all the new games, like let's look at the Gran Turismo. The graphics got better. Well, supposedly I haven't played it, but the simulation's better and everything. There's new cars, but what do you upgrade in that game? There's still karts. There's still this. Like, it's kind of hard to stay on top. That's my opinion on it.
But those games are more for a mature audience.
No, but it's yeah, I agree. It's two separate things. But it's just hard. How do you evolve Mario Kart from like its greatest Nintendo 64 to keep it good?
There's only so much you can do. You know, add more characters, add
like Double Dash is a great thing. To add a different
I think it's relative though. If you think about it, like I mean, our age, we're all roughly the same age. We all grew up with Mario Kart. I'd say 64. Just the age that we were, the 64 version was an upgrade, quote unquote. When we got older and they released Double Dash, it wasn't the same thing because we had so much fun with the 64 version. Mm-hmm. But if you ask kids that are a little bit younger than us that were, at the right age at the right time for Double Dash, I'm sure that they say, that the GameCube version's better because they think of the N64, especially the Super Nintendo version, as lacking or like not visually stimulating or as complicated. So I think it's all relative. They probably all did very decent. It's just for, I guess, my personal opinion, 64 version was the best.
Mm-hmm. The GameCube version, one of the things I liked a lot of it was like the super weapons. Like for Donkey Kong, you had the massive banana, and then when someone ran into it, it shot into 5
remember
bananas.
That. Yeah, that was fun.
And Bowser had the huge shell that took up the entire screen that was almost impossible to dodge.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, and then Peach had the hearts, so anything you threw at her, she would eat and get.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
she could throw it back at somebody else.
That was good.
And Yoshi's was kind of stupid. It was just a heat-seeking egg that exploded. Like, it was like whatever, right?
It's no Bowser.
The red shell, basically.
Mario's was stupid. Mario and Luigi.
Yeah,
fireball.
Really
Ooh,
bad,
I got a multi-shot fireball. I'm so BA. Yeah, but the shell and the banana was hilarious. Yeah, those were really, really good.
So what if you'd all have to say, I don't mean to take or anything, what do you guys' favorite one is, if you guys had to say?
Well, let's start with Brian.
Yeah,
Brian,
for me,
what order?
Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube.
Andy?
It's just too nostalgic for me.
N64, Super Nintendo, GameCube.
Mike?
N64, GameCube, Super Nintendo.
Ooh. Well, see, the thing for me, the 64 and the Super Nintendo versions felt more of like an arcade type of feel. The GameCube was like the actual console, sort of full-fledged. I played the most Mario Kart in the 64. It's tough. I'm going to say the Super Nintendo and then the GameCube version. I almost say the Super Nintendo first, just because that's what got me into racing games. But I just had a lot of fun 4 players on the 64 version, and it's still hilarious now. I still play it to this day.
Yep.
So there's our 9.5 cents on that retro game.
Nice.
So now we're going to move into our next segment.
Cell phone app of the week.
And this one, Andy really wanted to do. He said, ooh, me, 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 me. He had his hand up and everything.
That was a good impersonation.
Yeah, that was. I do say that a lot.
I'll try again. Ooh, me, 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 me,
Too deep.
me.
Too deep.
Not deep enough.
I need more deep, please. No, I don't mean DPS. So I'm going to let Andy take
More
this
dots.
one and run with it. So, Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, so NatQuest. Knack is the latest platform game for the PS4. Mike and I actually did a pretty good run at it, cooperative, local, at his place. He got the PS4 first out of the gang, and I guess I don't know if not the only game he got, but I think one of two. And I'm not a big fan of first-person shooters, I guess, this new age. So platformer game, Knack. It's interesting. It's definitely a new concept. And with, I guess, new games come new technology as well. So there's an app for your cell phone on Android. I'm pretty sure iPhone as well. I doubt BlackBerry. Oh, that sounded delicious. So NatQuest is basically a Candy Crush Bejeweled type of game for your cell phone that actually ties into your PSN account. And the more that you do on the app, in terms of collecting, what would you say, like items and such, it transfers to the game itself on the PS4. So you go through the game, and there's little secrets here and there, like, you got to find a wall that breaks, and you get to collect certain items, and you have to collect a set of items. And I Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you can't collect all of the items in the game. You have to collect some on the app, or maybe it's vice versa.
Yeah, like the app you can only get, let's say, 3 of the 5 pieces, and then you need to get the other 2 in game. But you can on the app get you can't get every crystal on the app except for diamond, and you can get every crystal. So you could collect like 20 of the crystals to get this unlock kind of deal, but not the items. The items you do need to find X amount in game.
So the game actually has them all, but it would take a very long time because there's only a certain amount per level or per stage, I guess, in game that you can actually collect, and you have to run the level each and every time, and it's a random draw. Like every time you open a chest, it's something different. You could open the same one over and over again and just keep getting the same, not the same item, but very, like it might not be different every time you open it. Mm-hmm. So I guess it just speeds along the process of getting the collectibles for the set for the actual Knack game on the PS4 if you use the NatQuest app for your cell phone, and it's pretty fun. It introduces I don't know, something a little bit different than Candy Crush or Bejeweled. So it was pretty fun though, because as Mike was playing, we got tired of waiting to collect all the items. So as Mike would play a little bit, I'd be on his phone playing the app, and then he got sick of playing a level. He's like, he throws me the controller, and then he's on the phone. So we end up collecting the stuff just faster than you would just playing the game itself. That was pretty cool. I like that. It's the first time I've been exposed to something that would help you in game on a cell phone app.
Yeah.
Now, it's a smart marketing move. The app itself, is it free to download, or you have to pay for it?
It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
But you have to be subscribed to the PSN
No,
network?
You don't have to be subscribed to the PSN. It's just beneficial.
For the unlockables.
It's definitely a standalone game if you want. If you, I don't know, if you like Knack backgrounds and you have, maybe you don't even care what Knack is, you can play it like as a game, no problem. But if you have a PSN account and you want to collect items faster in the game Knack, then you can get this app and you can collect things, sign in as your profile like you would on your PlayStation, and you can transfer the items that you collect in-game instantaneously. You just send them to your PS4, and then they're in-game right then and there.
So this game, like as you said, standalone app, there's chapters in the game as well, and in the app, that are like 1 to 9, and there's 3 levels in each chapter, and like as you progress, the first one's just a stand, but the second one adds like a wood feature, the next one adds like a steel feature, and blah blah blah. So it does progress. Like you can play it as a standalone game. And like Andy said, they just all kind of store to an empty PSN account. And let's say you sign in, you got a PlayStation, you sign in a week later, then you can set it to your new account. It's not, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have it or not. Like Andy's been saving up, for example, and he hasn't sent them to his PlayStation yet because he doesn't have the Knack game. So they're just kind of waiting to go. They're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, exactly. I play it once in a while, like instead of Candy Crush. So the morning routine is NatQuest instead of Candy Crush on the throne.
So you highly recommend this app for anyone who has the game, or just in general, just to play? It's fun.
Well, honestly, Okay, it's not bad. Like it's not terrible, but it's nothing special if you don't own Knack. Like it has no extra benefit. But if you have the Knack game and there's I don't know if you want the plat really bad. So if you want the platinum trophy in Knack, you have to do a lot of collectibles, and it's just a lot of running around. And I don't know if you get this app, it just speeds up the process. You don't have to spend so much time in game. You can spend it away from game on your phone.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely. I would say to make it enjoyable more, it's definitely better to have the game on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the app of the week from Andy.
Well done, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go into our next section. In our corner. So this is what games we are currently playing, or what games we have picked up recently in the last month or so. So I've got a couple of games I picked up and whatnot. Brian, you want to start it off? Tell us what you're playing or what you've maybe picked up.
All right, I've been playing with my buddy Sean. I think this was actually one that shows how much I'm really enjoying it. Is when I was playing, last podcast we did was Borderlands 2. I still am playing that with my buddy Sean. I just picked up Borderlands 1 Game of the Year edition for pretty cheap. I was happy with that. And an SNES controller so that when when buddies come over, I can finally start playing multiplayer with some of these games that I've got. Because I had one controller that wasn't working, so I just picked up another one that is working. And Clash of Clans, which I can't stop freaking playing. Stupid game. Oh, and NHL. Always NHL. Haven't stopped that either.
Yeah, that's you can't stop it.
That's constant. But
so that's what you've been up to lately?
That's my month or so. Yeah, that's pretty much.
What about you, Andy?
I got my PS4 finally. Yay!
Yay.
So I started off with a little bit of Killzone because it was one of the two games that it came with the PlayStation that I got off Kijiji. So basically my PS3 now is collecting dust, which is the way it goes. So on the PS4, I've been playing this Lego Marvel. So it's basically like Marvel comic books. It's amazing. It's everything that every Lego game has ever been, like Lego Star Wars, Lego Indiana Jones. It's just, I think it's the best one out there right now. Others might disagree, but it's so far been, I don't know, I've put probably about 30, 40 hours into it, and I don't think I've scratched the surface. I think I'm about 15% done. It's huge, and it's amazing graphics. Now, it's funny to say that because they're Legos. And you know, like everything is everything in the game is
blocks,
Legos.
Right?
Yeah, so it's weird to say that it's well done graphically, but it really, really is. It's so smooth. There's a plethora of characters that you get to choose from. And yeah, everyone has their own special abilities. It's just super fun. I feel like a little kid all over again. I'm sure kids out there feel like the exact same way playing this game. Like, it's just stunning. So Lego Marvel has definitely ate up a lot of my time. And on the PC, I've been playing BioShock Infinite, which I played for like 6 hours today.
Such a good game.
It's just so good. I'm really not one to play first-person shooters, and this is just a first-person shooter, and it's actually the first BioShock I've ever played. It's amazing. I can't get enough of it. The story's just great. So yeah, just those two games effectively have been what I've been playing.
I spent a little bit of money this past month on games. I bought Lunar Legend 2 for the PS1.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because it's been going up in price a lot in the last 4
months.
That's
an expensive game.
Yeah, it is an expensive game. You can probably get it on eBay for about $70 4 months ago. Usually now it goes for about $125 to $150 complete in mint condition. So yeah, I picked that up complete. And
you've been looking for that too, haven't you?
I have been looking for that. It's been in my top 10 games. I've had the first Lunar one for the PS1.
Yeah.
My friend bought that for me back in high school in grade 10, and it's still a sweet gift. It's like you have the first one, you gotta have the second one, and like I said earlier, not only is it a really good JRPG, but it's going up in price too. So it's like if I actually want to own this, I should probably buy it sooner than later. So I got that. I also picked up Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, the original Game Boy.
Oh, I had that. I picked that up in at the Carousel Mall when I was like 6.
I got it for $5. And I was like,
boy.
That's
like,
a
you know what?
solid game.
That was a fair deal. I also picked up Yoshi's Story Advance, I think it is, for the Game Boy Advance. It's kind of like the I'm pretty sure it's with Baby Yoshi. You know guys I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or no,
Yeah,
Baby
yeah.
Mario on Yoshi, and like every
Yeah.
time you get hit, you gotta hit the bubble, then bring Baby Mario back on you. So I
Yeah.
got that for GBA. I caught one of the guys at the pawn shop slipping, who usually buys games and sells them for 10 times the price, and I really rubbed it in his face too, because, well, BJ's just that type of person. You want to rub it in his face.
So what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? So as Brian was saying, I'm really guilty of playing the Clash of Clans recently. I just got my new town hall, so I got some more mortars there I got built and some more walls. Man, what else? A lot of hockey still.
Yep.
Still doing my season. I'm actually in my 17th year.
Really?
That's impressive. I've never come close to
Yeah.
that.
That's a lot of sim.
Hold on. Let me work some quick math. Because right now Jonathan Druin is 33.
What?
Yeah.
He's gonna retire.
Yeah, he's about to. There's not many players I know their names left. He might even be 34. So yeah, I've played quite a bit of hockey. I've been sort of slumping on the Golden Sun. I've been wanting to finish it, but you get distracted with life stuff and whatnot. I miss playing Chivalry. We used to play a lot of that online, and eventually get back into that. I've been in some beta stuff, but we'll be talking about that later. And by the way, since everybody knows that the what's it called? You can't. It's the agreement that you go into with a beta, and the non-disclosure.
Yeah, non-NDA.
Yeah, NDA has been lifted, so we can talk about that in the general discussion, which would be cool. But yeah, that's the only gaming I've been doing as of late. Yes, and Mike.
I've been playing Killzone for the PS4. I really enjoy that. Just a shooting game, but the cool thing about it is every DLC that they come out with, every new map, every new class, every new gun is completely free. So you get anything for free. And the only thing that's not going to be free are expansions they're going to be releasing. But anyway, that's just like additional online player modes. But I've been playing that, and I've been playing Counter-Strike Go with my buddy Corey. I've been playing a lot of that too. And what else have I been playing? We played another one too. I can't remember now. Oh, Team Fortress 2. We played some of that.
That one's hilarious.
And the games I just picked up, I just pre-ordered. A couple weeks back now. Infamous Second Son for PS4. And that's about it.
That's all you've been playing, Mike? You didn't pick up anything lately?
No, I just pre-ordered that game, and that's it. Whenever I got my PS4 back in, I think it was January, I got an act like Andy said, and I'm one trophy away from getting the platinum. All I have to do is beat the game again. But
Yeah.
I just want to take a break from it because I just, like I said, beat it 2 or 3 times, so I'm just, taking it easy.
You said pre-order. That reminded me, I pre-ordered Elder Scrolls Online Imperial Edition
Cool.
at AB Games. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I got the digital standard edition.
Mm.
I went all out this time.
Yeah. Went deep, bud. So yeah, that's in our corner, and then now we're going to go into our next topic.
Group discussion topics.
And the first one we're going into, and I know we're talking about a movie, and people are saying, "What? Where's the flicker? How come we're talking about?" Well, we're going to talk about this in group discussion topics now because we think that there's way too many, and we can condense it all into smaller pieces and make the show smaller and more enjoyable for people to digest. So we're talking about Wreck-It Ralph 2. They announced that they are working on a sequel.
Nice share, Ralph. As fellow bad guys, we've all felt what you're feeling, and we've come to terms with it.
Really? Right here? I'm Zangief, I'm bad guy. Hi, Zangief. Hi, Zangief. I relate to you, Ralph. When I hit bottom, I was crushing man's skull like sparrow egg between my thighs. And I think, why do you have to be so bad, Zangief? Why can't you be more like good guy? Then I have moment of clarity. If Zangief is good guy, who'll crush man's skull like sparrow's egg between thighs? And I say, Zangief, you are bad guy. But this does not mean you're bad guy.
And it's pretty cool, the characters that they are going to release in it. I know Andy and Brian were pretty stoked when they first heard about it.
I was really excited. It was it's a Wreck-It Ralph's, just a game totally based on a world where video game characters come to life, similar to Toy Story doing it for toys. This movie assumes that video game characters, once all the kids have left the arcade, and people our age leave the arcade, the the video game characters all live their regular lives. And Ralph is a character who is a bad guy, but doesn't identify himself as a bad guy. The whole movie's based off of him trying to kind of redeem himself for being, trying to prove to people that he's not all that bad, that he's actually a pretty talented guy.
Oh, it's like in the movies, like, you're a bad guy, but not that bad. Zangief.
They have some really cool cameos by actual video game characters. Like Qbert was in there, and they had Bowser was in there. Quite a few, like too many to name.
Street
but
Fighter Zangief was in there.
Yeah. Lots
Bison.
and lots. Yeah, lots to see, and it was really. They also did things like they did Call of Duty warrior guys, but they didn't name Call of Duty for whatever reason. It's actually a little bit funnier just to make it generic shooting game guys, because there's so many of them, right, that you can clump them all together.
Yep.
But just kind of joking about how people react in video games and how people play video games. Some of the characters take on the roles of some of the players in certain ways, like the Call of Duty alpha male 12-year-old kind of attitude, where they're too stupid to understand anything, but they still think they're men.
Alright, guys, the following plan is
Yeah, exactly.
Killed.
Exactly. So it's a beautifully animated movie. They fleshed it out so well. They made you like great characters, great
Sarah
voicing.
Silverman.
Yeah, Sarah Silverman, great voices. They did a great job, and what could have it really represented us as gamers well, for the general public, and it became a hit with kids. That's the thing that really makes me happy, that it became a big hit with kids, enough so that it is going to continue. They are going to be making a second one, it sounds like. Yep. But like, I talk to kids like at work that say they absolutely, it was a great movie, love that movie, just fabulous. So Toy Story was great for us, and then this is, I think, this generation's Toy Story.
Absolutely. Like, I don't know, this the way that the arcade characters kind of like come to life. Arcade. It's just funny because like a new movie these days in 2013, I think when it was made, or I think it was 2013. But like, they're still picturing arcades. Man, arcades have been gone for a while, but yet it made it cool again. It seriously made it kind of cool again. Like you not that you fell in love with the characters, but you had an emotional attachments to them. It hit a certain heartstring with a lot of people. Like, this movie was great. The voice acting was phenomenally done, I think. Yep. It made you believe that they were characters and not just people behind microphones. And yeah, like everything about it was awesome. I watched it again, and honestly, I was still as emotionally attached to the characters the second time through than I was the first. And that says something about the movie, because there's not a lot of cartoon movies or digitally animated movies that I'll watch repeatedly with the same level of enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with that. The new Wreck-It Ralph, though, is supposed to have Mario in it, correct?
Yeah. Mario and a Mario
Tron.
character and a Tron character.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Tron.
I hope
Tron
they use
at the Olympic opening ceremonies too, right? They had some Daft Punk and they had a track from Tron mixed in with all the classical Russian music
Biodigital jazz, man.
to do their last jellyfish peace ballet before lighting the torch.
Oh, nice.
That was awesome, just awesome.
I hope they do like an old throwback and they use the character Ram from the first Tron movie, who was just some sort of, I think he was an accounting program, but
Yeah, he was the lame guy, right?
yeah, he was really lame.
Yeah,
Take
he
him
was
and
great.
spoof him. That'd be hilarious.
I gotta say, I'm really disappointed. I think it was this week. There was something. No, yeah, it was Super Bowl Sunday. That's what it was. Super Bowl Sunday. One of the theaters in Ottawa was showing Tron, the original Tron, at one showing. There was only one showing of it. It was part of their old sci-fi series. They're doing a whole bunch of the old ones. And why they would put Tron on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not going to miss the Super Bowl. And I should have, because it was a crappy game.
We had a date, and we canceled it.
To have
Super Bowl.
a date together, because we watched the Super Bowl together.
The food was good, though.
Oh, my God. Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah.
I know you're not listening to this, but...
Oh, she always listens.
Seb, thank Amanda.
Yeah, vicariously.
Right
through
now,
Seb.
we're going to stop talking, Seb,
Yeah.
and we're going to let you go thank her. And then when you come back, we'll start talking again. But no, yeah, the Super Bowl was lame. But I'm pretty stoked to see the new one. I can't wait till they bring out Neutron too. But besides that, I love Wreck-It Ralph. Mike, I know you like this.
It was pretty good. It was good. It was a good movie. I'll just say it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I saw it in theaters and I loved it.
Yeah.
So.
But the sequel, you must be pretty stoked with it too.
Honestly, if it was, it's just that it's so far on the horizon. It seems that I'm not ready to be excited. But if it was coming out like this month or this year even, then I'd get a little more excited.
Oh yeah, closer to when it's ready. Yeah, I'm gonna get so stoked. We should do a podcast date to go see it all together.
We should all go see it together and then talk about it.
I just said
Oh, we're watching.
Yeah, while we're inside there, and we'll bring a video camera taping it.
We're all bringing laptops. We're all taping.
Whoa! Yeah.
Don't worry, it's for a podcast. Let us in.
Yeah, science.
Science, yeah. To school. So, all right, we're going to move on to another topic here. The Elder Scrolls Online. We all got into the beta, and I'm glad the non-disclosure agreement is now lifted. Actually, I think it lifted today or yesterday, so we can actually talk about it a bit now.
Are you 100% sure?
I am 100% sure. There's
Okay.
PvP
'Cause I know
videos.
I clicked that box, so I've signed away my life.
Yeah, but just in case, I'm only going to be talking about gameplay. I'm not going to be talking about quests or anything like that. Gameplay.
Yeah, no
graphics.
spoilers. I don't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah, and for me, when I first created my account and just opened up a character creation, my first one, it was incredible. I've never seen a game besides what was it? City of Heroes. What's another game that you have a lot of different customization to your character? I have never felt a game that I could do so much. Like, that doesn't mean if it's the nose, the shade of your skin, how big, how round, scars, eyes. There's just so much. Like, there's other games that do have that, like there's Star Wars Online, other online games, but there's just the amount.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could make so many different looking characters in this game. Not every character you walk up to is going to look the same. And this is a huge thing for online games now. This is like a lot of the other MMOs. It's like you see a character that looks, okay, he looks exactly like me, but I've got crappier armor than him and he's got better armor.
Yeah.
That's the only way you could distinguish. It's like, oh, cool, he kind of looks cool. Or you got another guy. It's like, he looks old and dirty. Like,
That guy looks fat.
yeah, you can make whatever you want. And I was sitting there. I spent, I think, like 10, 15 minutes just making my character. I was like, this is cool. Because, you're making this character because you're investing time into this game. And you want to enjoy the character that you're creating. So, like, right off the bat, I'm like, okay, this is sick. This is ridiculous.
I gotta say, that's the one thing Elder Scrolls, well, not the one thing, but it's one of the best things about that game. The character creation is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, I find it's even better than any offline Elder Scrolls game I've ever played. It's great.
Yeah, And you know what? Just to start a game, just to play it, like you're not even into the game yet, and it's already that great.
It's already giving you that impression.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow.
Because I'm sure you guys took your time, right, making your characters? Or did you just go random, Brian?
I spent a lot of time making my character. I made a female, and made her really hot.
Nice.
And then my fiance Ashley did the same thing. She ended up spending, it must have been a good half hour, 45 minutes making her character, and hers ended up being infinitely better than mine. Infinitely, because she made another female, and I was actually pretty upset about that because hers is way hotter than mine.
Well,
it was a lot of fun. It was, yeah, well, that's it. She understands it a lot more. But it was actually really funny. I made mine, and I didn't max out the boob size, but I looked at Ashley's, and the tits were it was the scroller right to the right. It was just
good for her.
Yeah, I know. She's like, you know what's more attractive? Big boobs. That's more attractive. So she gave me big boobs. Yeah, it was.
That does.
But it's a really good customization system. I agree with you. It let me do everything I wanted. You can really sculpt the person you want to be, and it's going to allow for a lot of people out there to be to express themselves and to be individuals online, where the person that you're looking at can actually reflect what you wanted to make, as if you were actually drawing and had the ability to draw it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you get customization. That way there's you take away from the generic character. And, there just gets to be like that individuality that, this game's going to probably be pretty huge. So, just the fact that you can sort of recognize people better, or, there's a certain point of pride or ego that goes along with it too. It's like, oh yeah, I recognize that guy because not just the name anymore. It's how you look, and it's not all about what you collect in game. It's about how you set up your character before the game even starts.
You could even have friends and stuff have a last name and then have similar looks. Like, oh, he's got those Skywalker eyebrows, man. The whole family line they all have. It's stuff like that you can do with it, which is neat.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say, the scar above your forehead. Yeah, my great-grandfather had it, and I had it too. We all have to take a hatchet to the head. That's a part of our family thing, You're not a man unless you can survive a hatchet blow.
Yeah, that's the bar mitzvah.
Yeah. I know when I logged in and played. First of all, you need a decent computer to run this.
That's not
true.
That's not true.
It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But how
to get everything out of it, you do.
Yeah, how I seen it running on mine, it was just beautiful. And I know that I'd feel bad for people who don't have a great PC and run this because they're not getting the full experience out of it. But this is good because Mike's going to tell us he's running on his laptop, and he can tell us how it was.
But it doesn't take away, it really doesn't take away from the game itself. It's just a bonus, I guess.
Yeah, it's visual stimulation.
Go ahead. If you play on a crappy computer, everything looks terrible. Your guy looks like awful, and every character looks the same. It's
how many polygons?
It's not polygony, but every character looks the same except for guys and girls and hair. And the other thing is everything's smooth. You would play the game just the way you would anywhere else, right? Block and instead of attack. It's just not the game looks good, I guess, but just nothing that nothing that really would change the game, gameplay-wise, is still the same to me.
The gameplay is bomb. Even your first quest, everything is great. Even the NPCs are responsive for a beta. It was really, I was impressed.
Yeah, but I mean, a beta in the sense that it's a stress test. It wasn't like a beta, feel out the glitches and the movement and the combat. It was feel out the stress on the servers that it could take. Yeah. So I mean, the first quest you did, you know what? To be honest, I was in a way I was shocked at how little I kind of knew what to do. A lot of other MMOs, you sort of start off, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and you do a whole bunch of stuff to start off the game. You're like, when's the game actually gonna kick off? And this one, it was right away. Yep. It was it just felt different, right away, and it was really good.
I sorry, I have to disagree because you start off in a starter island. We all played Daggerfall, right?
I didn't.
Okay, well, I played Daggerfall, so I'll speak for Daggerfall because we said we were all going to play Daggerfall, so that's what I thought we were doing. But you start off on the starter like graveyard or whatever.
We can't go too much into it, but you can just
No,
I'm
I'm not gonna name anything. But this is all information anyone can easily find online. Like you start off in the starting area. Everyone starts there, no matter where you are, and then you go to your specific fractions island. Then you beat that island, and it's very enclosed. You feel like you're enclosed. And then the next island, you go to another island that's like another starter island, where again you feel enclosed. Then you got to beat that island in order for the world to open up. So you feel like you're being pushed along until you finally beat these 2 or 3 islands. I thought it was a little much. They could have cut out the second island and just gone to the world. You didn't need the third one. I don't know if you guys got that far, but
see, but I think the whole Elder Scrolls aspect, they don't want to take that away. Like the game has been around for a long time, and now they're finally introducing an MMO. So they want to keep the longevity of the game. But
Elder Scrolls, to me, is all about as soon as I start the game, I can go anywhere I want. And in this game, it doesn't work like that. You can't go anywhere you want. You have to follow their set quests and lands, and then you beat the 2 islands, and then you can go anywhere you want. It just doesn't really. I find in that way it wasn't really an Elder Scrolls game to me because I couldn't go to the next town just because I wanted to check it out.
I agree. That is a big aspect of Elder Scrolls that it kind of wasn't there. But it's a whole different game in the series, right? Like, it's not like this is Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
But I do see your point, though. Like, why, if Elder Scrolls has been about that for a very long time, why didn't they think about that when making this game?
It could have been more of a training thing, too, like, in case people aren't used to, the online play or the controls or whatnot. It just forces them to be enclosed where, they're figuring out how to play it. Like, there's pros and cons to either side of it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's
an annoyance. It's an annoyance for people.
What about players who haven't played this before?
That's the only thing I could see it being a con for. If you haven't played any MMO or you haven't really played the game before, then it's not like this unlocks the history of the game, but it's
I mean, personally, I didn't like it. The first beta, did we all get into the first beta too?
Yeah.
Okay, the first beta, I didn't care for it. No,
I didn't either.
In the second beta, I played it further in, and I liked it more. And I told Chris I was going to pre-order it, but now I'm thinking against it because I think back and I was like, is this something I could play for months? And I thought to myself, no, I could play for a month, and then I'd be like, okay, that's it. Because I just found especially in the combat range and the ranged combat, I should say, was definitely lacking. Like, in Elder Scrolls, being an archer, you need aim. You need to be able to aim. And in this one, it's auto-aimed. And, same with the magic, it's auto-aimed.
You almost have to have it that way, though.
Yeah.
If you think of how many players are on a server, and then everyone has their own kind of shot.
That is the point.
It's
at this point in technology, it needs to be. And I was thinking about the same thing. I really was hoping, I picked Ranger hoping the same thing, maybe it would be a system like Skyrim, but this is not an offline game, right? You can't, it's too much detail to have.
I just find it made the Ranger, the two whole classes feel very unsatisfying. Like, the Ranger class, we played it and it just didn't feel very good. You played the Range class, didn't feel like you're really doing it. The melee class, you still had your interactivity with the blocking and the slashing and the dodging with the rolls and stuff. It just took away that extra bit from the range.
Yeah, but aren't you still happy that you're aiming and you're shooting, opposed to just pressing one button and it's shooting by itself?
You're not aiming, though, because as long as you aim in that general direction, it auto-targets it. You don't really need to...
Yeah, but we never really had much, like any other MMO before. You have to just target it and then hit one button and then...
Yeah, no MMO had it before, but it was kind of a hope that Elder Scrolls would because of the background, because of the pedigree it came from before, right? Like, playing Skyrim or Oblivion, if you're an archer, you have to act like that. You have to aim perfectly or you're going to die, And it's not like that in this game. I do agree with Mike. I just don't think it's a bad thing because we're just not there yet. Yeah.
But, I mean, compared to other MMOs, it kind of follows the same guidelines, but I think it did a better job.
Yeah, me too.
That's right. I think it's probably just it's the next step in MMOs. We're not going to take a gigantic leap where it's going to be Skyrim Online. That would be way too far because we just can't
Yeah, I agree.
technologically handle
I
it
agree.
yet.
But what I'm just saying is,
I think they've done a great job of advancing MMOs, which is exactly what we were talking about in the summer. That's what we were hoping for.
I just think that for like true Elder Scrolls fans will not get into this game for those reasons, and like a lot of people who love all the Elder Scrolls games don't like that about this one. And obviously, like I said, it's just not feasible. But it just
you can't make everyone happy.
No, but
like you said, you're not for the true RPGers. You know what I mean? Like the ones that really role play into this, they might not be as satisfied as they would be just playing Skyrim.
But once you get past, like, I'm gonna call it the intro, but like once you get past that point, and I don't think anybody really has, or maybe it's not even available because it's only been like weekend betas.
Yeah.
Like once you get past that point, you're not gonna want to have all these difficult like you don't want to have all these difficulties later, just I guess intermediately in game.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have that auto targeting and
it's true.
I don't know.
So the real question is, do you guys think this will take WoW off of like bring it down a notch, like be the next WoW killer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's
don't
gonna
think
beat
so.
WoW. I think it's not gonna beat it in numbers. I think it's gonna take WoW out of today's picture. Well,
it's
tomorrow's
different.
picture.
It's
different, and that's what it needs, and that's what the industry needs.
I don't think it. I honestly don't think it will. It's not. It's nothing that great. The combat, even melee, felt sloppy, and it just didn't feel that great.
It's not a fit. I don't know. I thought it was all right, and it was just still a beta. So if it's all right now, it should be polished by.
I don't know. I just don't think it will, because like people in the WoW community are used to that sort of EQ style play where you click and you attack and you cast spells and it's mouse based, and like this one is just a very different. And I don't know how many people will get into it.
Now, are you not liking the gameplay mechanic side of it because it's not like EverQuest? Like, are you?
No, honestly,
are you more biased because you
like
prefer the EverQuest type of playing?
No, I think it's just I just don't like it in general. I don't like the gameplay mechanics. I don't like how they funnel you through quests. I don't like how it doesn't feel like a Elder Scrolls game. It just feels like an MMO slapped in that world. I can't like go in. I understand why you can't go into a house and steal the cups and everything, because then it'll look empty. But I mean, they could have had it so that respawn or something, or like that stuff's worth $0, so you could steal it, but it's not really going to do anything. It doesn't, and like in any Elder Scrolls game, you go up to a civilian and go rumors, and the guy will be like, "Oh, what's going on, man? You heard this shopkeeper's having trouble." So then you can go to the shopkeeper and get like a spontaneous quest or something. It just doesn't feel like that.
But we can't go that far into the game because we haven't experienced that much.
Well, you sort of like Mike. You sort of expected it to be like the next the next sequel to another.
Well, I just felt like that's what it was built up as the next, like. The way it was built up, it seemed like it was going to be Skyrim Online, or like maybe not Skyrim, but more of like Oblivion Online, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it just really disappointed me, and then I didn't like it. So maybe that's why like I didn't like it. So it just kind of snowballed, and I think
it was expectations. I don't think it. Like I'm sure you enjoyed playing. I think you just the expectations of it to be a better, like the next Skyrim, like. I think they've raised the friggin' bar like every time they release a game. Like, like how high? I don't even know if you can go any like higher than Skyrim. Like just in this right now.
Go higher.
No, the open world, it's incredible.
It's art. Like video games are art, right? There is no perfection. You can always go higher.
But I think for the mechanics of the game to succeed, like in a large population, you have to simplify things a little bit. You can bring the Elder Scrolls name and you can give it like its history and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you can reinvent the wheel and expect it to actually do well.
To a certain extent, you can't. No.
Yeah, like
you know what you said, we're talking about this, and I cannot wait for the day when it is going to be Skyrim Online, because like we say, there's always the next step. Well, that is in MMOs. That will be like maybe not the next step, but a few steps away. Like, who knows how long it's going to take, 5 years, maybe 10 years, and we will have a Skyrim-like game for an MMO where you can just go into a world. Like, I've always wished, like we talked about before, a Pokemon MMO. But
Pokemon MMO.
It would be wicked.
That'd be so amazing.
It would be.
But I'm going to pick Bulbasaur, and I'm going to rename him Back Me Up. I can't wait.
Oh, on that topic, just so you know, I found online somebody did a living Pokedex now that the Pokemon Bank finally released.
Yep.
I've started mine. I've almost got my first 151 Pokemon in my living Pokedex, which if you don't know what it is, a living Pokedex is where you have, not only do you have your Pokedex filled with all the Pokemon, right? So if I evolve my Bulbasaur to Ivysaur and then Venusaur, then it counts as I had all three, and check, check, check.
Yep.
I have the Bulbasaur and the Ivysaur and the Venusaur. So you've got them all.
To use.
Not only... Yeah, to use. You have them all in your bank. That's what I'm going for. It's a ridiculous goal, but why not make ridiculous goals? That's what I spent most of my afternoon. I think from 2 o'clock on until almost time to record the podcast. That's what I was doing. Was just getting more Pokemon. It's fun.
So we're gonna go up to the last section of our group discussion, which is our personal top 10. So these are not in any order. These are just the top 10 games that we've played since childhood to now that have really made an impression on us, and that still leave one. And a lot of these games, even on my list, I still play to this day. So we'll start with Mike's top 10 games.
All right,
boy.
Let me pull out my list.
I'm so excited. This is ridiculous. Because not just so everybody knows, nobody knows what each other's list is.
Yeah, we don't know what our lists are.
We kept it quiet and been excited to hear everybody else's list.
So I'll start with the first game I ever remember getting for PS1. It was called Blasto. I don't know if you guys ever played this game, but you were this macho dude who had a gun, and you're this alien world, and you went around saving babes. That's literally was the whole game.
Nice.
They'd get captured, so you'd go kill them, and then you'd save them, and they'd kiss you, and then they'd disappear. It was amazing. I had so much fun with it. And so Gunstar Heroes for the Sega. I played the crap out of that game. I still have it on the PlayStation Network and still play it. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, just because it was amazing. Dragon Age, because I beat it 5 or 6 times and it's still fun to play. I beat it 3 times on the computer and 3 for PS3. I think PS3.
Oh man, I could not do it on console. I did not enjoy it on console.
And then EverQuest 1, because I still subscribe to that stupid game. The Witcher 1 for PC, I played the crap out of that game.
Oh, nice.
Counter-Strike Source, because it was the first really shooting game I got into. I must put you saw how my old account had. I had 600 hours played into that game, and I was still awful. Turtles in Time for the SNES. Our friend Jude had it, and every time I went there, we'd always play. And I remember it being amazing, being able to throw the guys at the screen. And the last one is Heroes in Might and Magic 3. I used to put hours into that game on the computer.
Nice.
That was awesome. All right, we'll go to Andy now.
I need to go take a piss.
Fired him as replacement.
1 second.
I told him he was fired.
Yeah. Chris didn't approve of his top 10, so I got tapped in.
It smells like dirty feet and poop up here.
All right, there you go.
Those are your own feet, bud.
It smells bad.
It's your own poop?
Andy.
Yeah, so it took me a little while because I had 23 whenever I was jotting down, just close my eyes and think of my favorite games ever.
Yep.
So I had to whittle it away to 10. So right at the top of the list has to be Super Mario World for the SNES. That was I've logged ridiculous amount of hours into that game. As a kid, I wasn't very good, so it took me forever to get anywhere. Right after that is Pokemon Blue, specifically.
Oh, you bastard!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but it's also paired.
That's a good pick.
It's also paired with
You'll
with
laugh
Pokemon
so
Silver.
hard when you hear mine.
Oh, absolutely. So Pokemon Blue and Silver, they're iconic for me, and those are the only reason I mention colors is because those are 2 that I had, and I think red is garbage, and I think gold is garbage. Just because
I hate you so
those
bad,
are the 2 colors.
Dude, Electabuzz will kill you.
I know. Blue is terrible. I don't know why I picked it. Actually, I do know because Jay had red. So number 3 is TMNT 4 Turtles in Time because it was the best side scroller. Period.
Yeah, it was fun.
Man, the music it just reminds me. Oh, it's great. So Super Smash Bros is on the list.
Yep.
Everybody
64?
knows why. Absolutely.
Yeah, Super Smash. 64.
The Tomb Raider remake that they just made this year. I can't say enough good things about this game. It did everything right. Just everything, just from start to finish. I couldn't put the controller down. I don't remember the last time I was in that. Final Fantasy VIII brings me all the way back to whenever I first got a PlayStation.
Yeah, FF8 was amazing.
There's a lot of FF7 fans out there, but I have to say that FF8 is my personal favorite. Fable on the Xbox was the best RPG, I guess, I played whenever I got an Xbox. Fable 2 and 3 are good, but
yeah, they are.
Fable, the original, was just groundbreaking. Another RPG that I played was Ni no Kuni.
Is that in your top 10?
Yeah, absolutely. That is very much like Pokemon, where you have to collect a bunch of characters, and it's more or less like gotta catch them all. I also have an adventure platformer that is called Spyro the Dragon.
Oh, you put Spyro in your top 10?
Absolutely, man.
Nice.
I love that little friggin' purple dragon.
Purple Yoshi.
Yeah. And my number 10 is, this was really hard to choose, but it's Oddworld Stranger's Wrath for the Xbox.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Man, I heard the hell out of those demos.
It's a mixture between action adventure and first person and third person shooter all in one. And it's not bullets, it's like little creatures that you're collecting, as your ammunition, and everything. Every time you shoot something different, it does a different ability. So those are my top 10.
All right, Brian, you want me to go or do you want to go?
You can go, Chris.
All right, my top 10: Super Smash Bros. With the 64, EverQuest/EverQuest Online Adventures, because I was playing both of them around the same time. Mega Man 2, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, the PS2. Super Mario RPG, Pokemon Blue, StarCraft, GoldenEye N64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, and NHL, because I put a lot of hours every single year in NHL.
Some pretty good games on that list.
NHL 95.
NHL 95, yeah. I
man,
had
it's sitting right next to me right now.
I had so much trouble, because other games that were off the list that were really important to me were World of Warcraft. I don't like it anymore, but it was still very important. I still played the crap out of it when it first came out. I'd leave out Mario Tennis, Snow Bros, Mario Party, Gauntlet Legends, Champs and Wrath, Halo 2, Golden Sun, Super Metro, Final Fantasy X, Secret of Mana, Super Mario World, Double Dragon, Battletoads. This is the first Zelda, Super Mario World 3,
What the hell, man?
City.
You're going through 30 games.
64, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Nox, Perfect Dark, Command & Conquer.
I love how he just shoots them out.
Off, Chris.
They
Nobody
were
said
all
that we could do our honorable mentions
good.
today. Damn it.
Okay, Brian.
I want my honorable mentions. Honorable mentions.
Andy,
All right,
Andy,
let's move
before
on.
I go, Andy, you get to do your honorable
Okay,
mentions.
my honorable mentions are F-Zero, WWF No Mercy, Blood Rain for the Xbox, all the Halo series, Cool Borders 3,
Oh, nice.
Bioshock Infinite, The Amazing Spider-Man, StarCraft for the 64 specifically, Warcraft 2 for the PC, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, Twisted Metal 3, all of the Uncharted's, NHL from 07 to right now, and Small Soldiers.
Oh, Small Soldiers, nice. Okay,
All right.
Brian.
My list. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
NHL every year of it. I have 14 in my Xbox right now, and I have 95 in my SNES right now.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Red, Andy. Pokemon Red.
No, you're 2-1.
No, it's no good.
2-1.
Red. And I had gold, you son of a bitch.
You're my arch nemesis.
But I had Soul Silver, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Oh, Tony Hawk, nice.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
That
The Ace
game,
of Spades.
that game had so many hours, but Perfect Dark mostly for the multiplayer, for the bots.
Yep.
Portal
Laptop.
1.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
laptop. Yeah, Portal 1. Oblivion. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. GTA Vice City. Borderlands 2, one that I only discovered in December, and I don't think I'm going to stop playing that still for another couple months because I'm going to redo it again with my buddy Sean. We're going to do all the DLCs. It's probably one of the best first-person shooters ever. Entertaining as hell. Warcraft 2.
Nice.
Good for
Love
you.
that. Yeah, all of the dial-up internet. And Mortal Kombat 3 for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Honorable
Goro.
mentions: Halo, Call of Duty Modern Warfare for the multiplayer.
Blech.
No, multiplayer.
Blech.
Mario Kart for the SNES, Mario World, Guitar Hero 3,
Okay,
Adam's
that's good.
Family
That's
Pinball.
Really?
Yeah. F-Zero Racing for the
Yeah.
SNES, Smash Bros. Mario Tennis, Turtles in Time. That's my honorable mentions.
I only have
Nice.
2 honorable mentions. Champions of Norath, Champions Return to Arm, and Time Splitters 2.
Oh,
You didn't
yeah,
even.
I
You couldn't
forgot
even
the
make
Time Splitters
like.
too.
You had a struggle getting to 8 there, Mike. How
Yeah,
did
but
you get?
They're not
honorable
they're not my favorite games. I'm just saying they're great games.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's just like new, Mac. Nice.
That's how I want it. Leave it.
Yeah, what's Mac's top 10?
Yeah, Max.
Max top 10, he said, is Hubert, Centipede,
Solitaire,
Home Alone.
Minesweeper, Defender,
Mahjong.
Windows
Whatever it's
ME
called.
Pinball.
John.
Hearts.
What is your favorite 10, Mac?
Oh, I'd have to make a list.
Just off the top of your head, what's your favorite?
Favorite, Snow Bros for the NES is a good game.
Yeah, that is
King of
good.
the Dragons for Super
Oh,
Nintendo is a
yeah,
sick
forgot
game.
about that one.
Final Fight 2 for Super Nintendo is amazing. Smash Bros, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask is probably in there too.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know. It's tough to say. Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, that's my list. That game was amazing.
EverQuest Online Adventures.
EQ is awesome, yeah.
Nobody said World of Warcraft. I love it.
No, Chris did.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
All right. That was good for being put on the spot.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go into our next segment.
PC tips.
Which is
Arcade.
Arcade tip of the week.
Yeah, world peace.
Hold on to the joystick.
Meta World Peace.
Yeah. No, it's the PC tip, and this week is just an antivirus called Avast Free Antivirus 2014. It is one of the most aggressive antivirus that you'll find for the price of free. When you
It
open
will
this,
destroy things you don't want it to destroy.
all your pictures gone, but your computer's clean.
Solitaire's good still, though, right?
Solitaire, yes.
Yeah, that's not malware yet.
No. But yeah, this program is really neat. It'll actually restart your computer in like a safe mode where it's not even running the operating system and do a full scan on it.
Just
And
restart my computer.
yeah, just randomly restart it and tell it who's boss. But yeah, it does a scan and it gets a lot of stuff that a lot of antiviruses miss that you pay for.
Let me tell you, it's a lot better than most antivirus you pay for, like McAfee.
Norton,
It's better than
McAfee.
McAfee or Norton or anything.
Kaspersky or whatever.
You know,
Panda.
I'd only recommend this one or Nod 32.
Yeah, Nod 32 from ESET is an amazing.
I don't know if that
antivirus.
one's free, but
No, it's not.
it's amazing. That one's. If I was to pay for an antivirus, I'd pay for that one.
So yeah, that's the PC tip of this week, and a couple of things here towards the end of this episode. One thing is a shout out to Keeb, also known as Chad Mitchell. The little guy passed away recently from natural causes, and it's kind of sad to the gaming community. And prayers and everything with his family. It totally sucks, but yeah. So this show was dedicated to him, and we need to pick a winner for the draw. So I'm going to get Mac. I'm going to get Mac to pull a name out of the box.
Wait. Is Mac in the draw? I'm pretty sure
No,
Mac's in the
Mac
draw.
is in the draw. Mac was already inside the box pulling the stuff out of it. There should be a random, don't look in it. Just mix your hand around and grab one single piece of paper that's smaller than the actual...
Grab the papers.
Hold on. Don't say the name out loud. I want to do like a drum roll. Let me grab 2 screwdrivers.
I'm too excited right now.
Hold on. This is going to be the worst drum roll ever.
2 screwdrivers.
Whoa, guys. Whoa.
Oh, what? Oh,
Yeah,
Brian.
let Brian do the drum roll. He actually has a practice pad.
And the winner is...
I know Kung Fu.
Seb!
Oh,
Yay! Somebody we know.
So USB key with all our autographs, including Mac's. It says Mac,
That's added
hashtag,
value.
hashtag beer float.
All of our autographs, including Mac.
If anyone listened to a previous episode, they would know what the whole beer float thing's about.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, that is this week's episode.
My mom's still pissed about that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just talking about not having beer. Okay, Mrs. Jean. Chris, catch this.
Just floats it over.
Yeah, do. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for listening. We'll be doing more draws in the near future, and that is this week's episode. So everyone, give a farewell, Brian. Say goodbye, Brian. It's okay.
Good farewell, Brian. Good farewell.
Thanks, Andy.
Hail
I
Ogre.
like my drum roll better. Like legit drumsticks here. Picked them up last week.
Thanks, Brian. That's a nice goodbye. Andy?
Yeah, whatever. See ya.
I'm tired of this. And Mike?
Au revoir.
And Mike's pure French. That's
Samosa.
Yeah, it's very well done.
Samosa.
Did you say samosa?
He said
He's really
Sepulva.
Oh, look at my mustache.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Good sign off.
Fuego!